Today, I would like to discuss what I've been hearing in the news, that Donald Trump intends to use the Justice Department to investigate the 2020 election results because he is such a sore loser. His only option now is to manufacture evidence. And imagine that you've ascended to the presidency for the second time, which is one of the more baffling things tens of millions of Americans have ever witnessed in their lives. And you're concerned about the 2020 election race, which everybody knows you lost.
Here's the deal on that. I have absolutely zero doubt in my mind that he will happily manufacture evidence to prove his gaslighting, lying lies. And again, as with everything with Donald Trump, only history is going to be able to judge the facts because he will muck it up. He will lie. He will fabricate evidence. He'll have people lie for him. I mean, it's unbelievable, the descent into madness that this country is going to go down in the next 4 years.
I kind of want to check you on that only history can judge Donald Trump, because what the hell are we doing here? I feel like every day we walk up here and sit down and judge the shit out of him, and I want to continue to do so. He can be judged in real time.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying in terms of he is going to convince at least 40% of the population that the election was stolen from him, that he lied, and now...
He already has convinced them of that.
Right, but he's going to now manufacture proof for it. And at some point, historians are going to have to get in there and prove to the non-stupid people.
It's already proven. We already have 60 court cases.
No, I know, but he's going to make all this evidence up. Do you have any doubt in your mind that's going to happen?
I have no doubt that he's going to whip out Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy.
I forgot about him.
And the mountains of evidence. But in real time, we have a free press that can immediately not delay history reconciling something. We have to immediately, when he lies, call it out as a lie in real time, immediately, spontaneously recording it as a lie. That is what all of the technology enables us to do. And the mainstream media needs to make sure their chyrons, their messaging above the fold, top of the website is President Trump lies again. This is his 400,000th lie since 2016. Over and over and over. We can document this in real time.
I completely agree with you, but in the last 9 years, I've yet to see the mainstream media call him out like that. All I see is sane washing and little tidbits in different sections, definitely not above the fold unless it is a massive issue. But even then, they sane wash it. So I have no confidence that the mainstream media is going to call him out all day, every day on his lies, because they haven't done it today.
They won't. They absolutely won't. And that's why I think people are abandoning mainstream media. But they did after January 6th. You can look at the sampling of all of those headlines. And what's amazing to me about that is universally, like even Fox at the time, a couple of days after, were like, oh, man, this is pretty screwed up. I mean, even they couldn't deny it. And how many people have let him get away with this. All of these people that say I'm a patriot and I'm a constitutionalist and all this bullshit that they spew, that we were able to just dust over it. The Democrats, the Republicans, everybody just kind of gave this guy a pass. And I would imagine if you're a Black American and you've had to work twice as hard to do everything, and you have these politicians like our governor, Kevin Stitt, who is such a racist, that his number one goal is not helping the poor people in his state, is to do away with DEI at the University of Oklahoma and how that feels to a Black person. You know, like any opportunity for us to embrace, like, hey, the United States is a melting pot. Let's all learn about other cultures. He wants to do away with it and demean that. Can you imagine what it feels like to be a Black American and see this guy that inherited $500 million, career con man, his entire life. And then he gets charged with these crimes and he never serves one day in prison. ever. And then now we have the Justice Department, withdrew all their cases. There's just no accountability whatsoever. I cannot imagine what that would feel like, because I feel pretty bad about all of that right now. But I'm a privileged white woman. I can't imagine what that must feel like.
Well, for me, it is so disheartening. It makes me furious at Merrick Garland and Joe Biden all over again. He should be in jail right now. That's where he should be. These cases should have been filed long before they were. The investigations, he should have been in handcuffs after Mar-a-Lago. Do not throw away the key. I mean, he had our nuke codes in a very gaudy bathroom in Florida where there are Russian agents infiltrating all the time, Chinese. He told some Australian billionaire just for shits and giggles what was on a nuke sub. I mean, this guy has no respect for the military. He calls them suckers and losers. His joint chief of staff, his former chief of staff says that. The chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff says he's a fascist, and people just don't give a shit because he's just funny and entertaining. I mean, it infuriates me how he has never been held accountable. I mean, he inherits $500 million. He bankrupts casinos. His office is a dump truck. They put him on The Apprentice and make him sound like some big business genius when every single business he's ever run has ended up in fraud or dismantled because it sucked. And now he's in charge of the country. It is unbelievable, the dipshit that this man is. I can't even, it makes my skin crawl.
What's amazing to me is how the Republicans have morphed into the MAGA party, and the death knell to this idea of American exceptionalism, the thumbing of the nose to expertise. And instead of saying, hey, we are this great nation of diversity, free markets, and we need to embrace how to best do this to not exploit members of our country so that this is sustainable. Instead, you see tens of millions of people say, I don't give a shit about American exceptionalism. And that was the Republicans' whole thing.
Right.
Donald Trump is the exception. How do you morph from that? How do you go from, I value American exceptionalism, and that's their big thing. We're the best country in the world. I mean, how much were we indoctrinated to believe that growing up in the 80s during the Reagan era? I mean, it was crammed down my throat. To then, these lifelong Republicans now don't give a shit about American exceptionalism. It was bullshit the whole time. It's white people being the exception. And I will never understand fully how so many people have bended and twisted themselves morally to vote for this guy and then can get up and look at themselves in the mirror. It's really baffling to me. People that think that they are, well, I vote for the economy. I'm all about the economy. I mean, I like Republican policies for the economy. I want to say, are you an idiot? Are you literally a stupid person that doesn't ever read facts? Because their policies tank the economy. It's just the biggest lie that's been perpetuated over and over and over again. And you have all of these people all across the United States that are faith and flag voter, and I'm an economy voter, and they vote for this morally bankrupt piece of shit against and cause friction in their families. They must cause friction internally, morally with themselves, or maybe they don't. I mean, maybe people just don't have a moral, personal moral code. I don't know.
You know what's interesting? What the Trump era has exposed more than anything is the fundamentalist evangelical Christians. They have turned out to be the most hypocritical, hateful, cruel sect of the population in the entire country. I mean, Christian nationalists are cruel. They are not for poor people. They don't want to help people. They want white Christians to have success, period, full stop, the end. And if you cornered them, they'd be like, oh, I believe in helping the poor. I believe in helping people. Bullshit. You don't, because you don't vote that way, because over 90% of that population voted for Trump, who I might remind everyone is a thrice married adulterer, fraudster, porn star fucker, Playboy bunny fucker.
Yeah.
Lies when his lips are moving. And this is your guy. So do not stand on the moral high ground. You cannot stand on the moral high ground.
I just think, as a rule of thumb, I've always believed this: mega church, mega hypocrite. I always knew if somebody told me, oh, I go to Life Church, or I go to Crossings, or I go here, and it's some big mega church, I knew immediately they were a mega hypocrite. And now Donald Trump, the one gift he's given us, America, is he has exposed every single mega church and mega church attendee for the hypocrites that they are. Now we all know, so we just need to keep banging that mantra. You attend a mega church, we know how you feel about gay people. We know your pastor tries to dress up and act hip in his jeans and the rock band. We all know behind the scenes that y'all are worried about Satan and spiritual warfare and all of this bullshit that you think is real. And I'm just sick to death of the power that these people feel so entitled to have while stepping on the backs of human beings, real, live, breathing human beings that are suffering. So you can walk into your mega church, gaudy as hell, with the big screen and the dunk tank and the gross pastor, because you know what? Donald Trump is exactly like them.
Right. And I just want to call out women in this. Women, you have voted against your own self-interest, to your own detriment, to your daughter's detriment. And this rah-rah submit to the husband, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And I just want to tell you, women, your husbands are probably cheating on you and watching a lot of porn. And
Grindr.
And the answer is not this. I mean, it's just total bullshit. Quit voting against your self-interest. Quit letting these fake, phony Christians claim the moral high ground, because they are the least moral members of our society are these phony Christians.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you guys later. It's so